Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, last time we got together, and hopefully it was a good time, but also passed on some information that may be a little disturbing. This is our model that we ended up with on the last video. And this was our subject. Do you know what is outside of you? Now, as a little review, and I'll reference this video, the last video, because we covered a lot of ground, and we're going to continue. So I wanted to make sure you understood or had opportunity again to refresh your memory on what we talked about. What was it? Basically, you don't know what's outside of you. I know you think you do. I know you believe you do, but you really don't. You really don't know what's outside of you. Now, we had this lens of perception that we took information in from the infinite outside energy system. Information. We filtered it through our perceptional filter, our perception, and created inside a model of what we believed was outside based upon our interpretation of the input data. Our interpretation, our creation, our inside perception, while using the input data, it is manipulated and filtered and changed to meet our belief system, and out of that filtered and manipulated data, we create our world. That's the way it is. And once we create our world, we have really no idea what it started with. We have no idea. This is our model, our best guess of what we think based upon our past, our history, our memories, our belief system, of what we think is outside of us. And we think it so well, and our interpretation is so complete that we believe what is inside is what the outside is. No, it's not. You have no idea what's out here. Oh, a little scary for some people, but in a moment we're going to change. We're going to operate on this model, but we're going to change it and talk about our next video. And this is our subject for this video. And I'll read it to you. Oh, off of here. Surprisingly, creating your world is easy. Of course, you're the creator. So you easily create your world. Now, I put a lot on our board, so I'm going to have to explain it a little bit. Okay, first of all, based on my lack of drawing ability, you'll have to use your imagination. Right here, this is a spaceship. So I want you to kind of look at this as a spaceship whoosh, going in space. Now, we have you on the inside as the captain, the controller. And outside, over here, we have information that is coming from the outside, and you are capturing that data with your senses. Senses, your instrumentation. So this part of you, your senses, are here. That's your instrumentation on the inside, projecting outside with your instrumentation. So outside of you, you are picking up information. Now, I hope it looks like you're not getting all the information, because you're not. You're only getting what your antenna can pick up. And there are gaps, big gaps, in the information that is available to you. So your senses pick up, and that's what your antenna is, your senses. Your senses pick up whatever they can, but it's not everything. And then you bring it inside, and this little thing here, that's your belief system. I didn't write that down, but that's your belief system. That's your past experiences. That is your data banks of information that you use to determine what this outside data is. Because when it comes into you, it's garbly-gook, has no meaning. It must be interpreted. Now think about a spaceship. They got all that instrumentation, all kinds of antennas, temperature, direction of solar winds, all kinds of stuff that they are using to analyze what the outside environment is for our space traveler. When they do that, they take in all that information, analyze it, and create on this screen what is outside of you. Our best guess. What is outside of you? Your best guess. Now, so far, you might not recognize it, but this is the same model we had in the last video. It's just looking at it a different way. It is recognizing that you have no idea of what's outside of you. You only know what your senses tell you. Now that is a oxymoron, because your senses are not telling you, as a spaceman, is not telling you anything. It is only after you filter that information, decode that information, compare it with your data banks of what you already know, that you can create a model of what you think is outside of you. What you think is outside of you is your creation. And you do it fast, very fast, because the subconscious mind, this programming in here, is very fast. And we talked about in the last video how fast that was, in the description, I think. But in case you didn't get it, your subconscious mind operates at about 400 billion bits of data per second. Now you're taking that, you're analyzing it, and you are creating a model of that information. Your model of that information is your best guess as to what's outside this spaceship that you're driving, that you're captain of. Out of that, again, over here, your model of the outside. This is you're creating a model. You don't know what's outside. It's all kinds of gobbledygook. You're creating a model as best you can based upon your life experiences, which are part of your data bank, which is in the subconscious mind. And it is you on a conscious level that creates this model, and you think, well, that's what's outside. Of course, you never get outside. Why? There's no oxygen out there. You won't last long. You have to put yourself in another spacesuit to move outside of your spacecraft until you land. And when you land, you don't want to get out until you know there's no toxins that are going to destroy you before you get out of your spaceship. So you are creating the whole thing. Now, we do have some information from A Course in Miracles, because this is very powerful. Why? When you begin to recognize you're creating your world, you can make changes and create the world you want. So here's what the Course in Miracles says. The mind, because everything is a creation of the mind, the mind is very powerful and never loses its creative force. It is always creating. The mind is always, you're always creating. You don't recognize it because it happens so quick. On a conscious level, you're not aware of it. But you are. You're creating your world, your model of the world, in every second. Every second, you're creating your world. Your world isn't static. Your world isn't outside of you and static. It's inside of you and moving every second. And out of that movement, you keep creating another world, another world, another world, another world. So, every instant it is creating. It is hard to recognize that thoughts and belief in the subconscious mind combine into a power surge that can literally move mountains. That can literally move mountains. Now you'll find reference to that in the video description. You may have heard that in some other context. Your faith can move mountains. Well, this gives you some idea how that might be tied together, and begin to recognize that you are the creator of your world, which is a model, a best guess as to what's outside of you. It's not, of course, what's outside of you, but it is your best guess based upon your memories, your life experiences, your moral judgments, all stuff you learned. And as we stated before, to have a pure understanding of what's outside of you, you have to cleanse your filter, which is your subconscious belief system. I told you these are all connected together. They look different because I try to raise the difference. But as I get into it, you begin to see that it is the same model. You believe it's a different model. You believe it's a different world. It's all the same. It's all interconnected. You are one with you. Therefore, who am I in relationship to you? Now I'll change my name. I'll say brother. Who is your outside brother in relationship to you? Think about that, Pilgrim. You have much to learn here in the illusion. And when you begin to recognize the illusion, everything falls into place. Everything falls into place. Start with peace of mind and recognize you're the creator. And as you do, you say, oh, everything falls into place. Be good to yourself. Because when you're good to you, you're good to me. Oh, and by the way, you can hit the like button or hit the subscribe button, or both, which would be nice. Now, until we get together here again in the illusion, because this is the only place we can be. Be good to yourself. Be good to me. Be good to who's around you. Because it's all part of you. Bye now.
Le frêle guinargue l'hiver, le houx solide est toujours vert.
Le frêle guinargue l'hiver, le houx solide est toujours vert.
Pour la Noël, fleurissez-vous de gui de houx. Perle rouge, perle blanche, le gui et le houx.
Perle rouge, perle blanche, le gui et le houx.